Hey everybody, I am John Barker, and in this episode of Here to Record Show and Tell, I want to take a look at my Webcaster X2. It's been about a year since I bought this thing, so I kind of wanted to report back and let you know if it was a good purchase and if I still recommend it. So let's take a look. Now, if you are looking for an in-depth look at how this works, please do check out my other video that I posted a good while ago about the ins and outs of the X2. And I also want to say, in the interest of full disclosure, that Epifan did send me an X2 for the original review, but I sent that back and I since bought this with my own money. So the video is all my own opinions and all that good stuff. Laptop free. One of the major pros that I've loved about the X2 is that it's laptop free. In this sense, I was using my MacBook Pro and Wirecast before that point, and I always found that it was such a stress on the MacBook Pro. So it was nice to get rid of that stress and put the stress on this X2 instead. And I found that it's held up really well. In terms of issues, I've only had a few little tiny ones along the way. So getting away that stress of my MacBook crumbling and overheating and the worry of that, and putting on this device instead has been a great decision. Straight to YouTube or Facebook without any fuss. Something I still love about the X2 is that I don't really need to mess around on Facebook.com or YouTube.com all that much if I just want to go live. Now, sometimes I do jump in and schedule events for YouTube if I'm doing a conference or a big event like that, up to 8 megabits per second. In the last few months, I've actually updated the software, so you can now stream up to 8 megabits per second. And before that, it was 4 megabits per second. And while that was good quality, I always wanted to push it harder up to that 8 or beyond. So it's really nice to see that they finally come up to 8 megabits per second and got that improvement in there. Now, the fact that you can't go any further than this, of course, is a huge drawback for anyone who wants to stream higher bit rates. But for me, 8 is more than enough, I think. Another recent update has brought more platforms to the X2, and among those is Switchboard Live, which is a really nice way of overcoming one of the major faults, I think, of the X2. The X2 only lets you stream to one location at a time, but if you send your signal up to Switchboard Live, it will send it out to multiple different locations. I haven't had a chance to use Switchboard Live just yet because it does come with a $99 per month price tag, and I'm kind of waiting until the right gig for that to make sense. Now let's slip into the not so good things about the X2. I have loved to see all these recent software updates, but the software update mechanism itself is kind of flawed. I found that I've accidentally clicked on the button that says update the software before the show starts sometimes, and then what it does is it downloads the new piece of software and it's ready to go when you press the button again. And unfortunately, I have found that I've accidentally pressed that button as well. Maybe this is just my silly user error, but it seems so easy just to press that button, especially when you're using a wireless keyboard or mouse and it goes asleep and then you bring it awake by pressing an enter or tapping on a mouse button. What I found is that if the mouse cursor is on top of the update software, I have clicked that, and all you need to do is click it again and the software is updating. This happened to me 5 minutes before a show once, and it was a stressful few minutes while I waited to see if the update worked, if my device still worked. So I would say that's a major kind of flaw in the setup. Another downside, of course, is that you have to bring that extra gear. You have to bring an extra mouse, keyboard, and screen as well. And I have found that it is a bit of a shame that you have to bring all this stuff. It would be nice to have some sort of web portal or interface to connect to the Webcaster and see maybe even a bad frame rate, low frame rate version of the interface. But on the other hand, I have set up a screen on the side, which is my sort of streaming screen, and I can glance over and make sure that it's working, and I can glance over and see any comments. So it is kind of a negative and a positive. For someone like me who tries to travel light, it just means that I have to bring extra gear. But if you don't travel so light, or if you have a fixed location, it may not even be a problem for you. So with all that said, do I still recommend this device? And the answer is absolutely yes. I recommend it to anyone who wants to stream to one location at a time, and that's all they really want to do. Or if you always use YouTube or you always use Facebook, then I think this is the perfect device for you. Though if you are going to do some custom RTMP streaming, or you want to do dual streaming to 2 different locations, and you don't want to pay that extra price tag of Switchboard Live, then I would avoid this and I would slip over to maybe the video devices. Obviously they're a little bit more expensive, but they're a little more custom built for that kind of use case, I think. Now, if you found this video or this channel useful, please consider checking out our Patreon. And otherwise, let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the X2, or if you use a different device and you find that it works better or possibly worse, then please let me know. Thanks for watching.